Welcome to a discussion on the PMBOK Guide 8th edition changes. These major changes in impact analysis will help you understand what's happening next and provide a comprehensive overview for you so that before you dig into it, you'll understand what's about to change. Some of the key insights are around, first of all, an executive summary of those changes, the key differences at a glance. The principles go from 12 to 6. You'll see the process groups being reintroduced in this version. There are 49 processes. I believe they're going to trim it down to 40. 40 processes. What changed about the ones that they had from what they're going to be using? The performance domains are going down from 8 to 7, and there'll also be the introduction of another domain. The AI integration and digital appendices, you'll have a chance to look at what that holds. Sustainability being at the core of what we're doing for the future. That was interesting. The new governance domain is going to be a topic for great discussion, but definitely one that we want to get into. We're going to talk about the hybrid structure where predictive and adaptive are meeting together in order to blend into something brand new. Then we'll have the timeline for the release, the impact to the PMP exam. We'll understand some practical implications that could affect project managers, and then we'll go on to look at some actionable insights and then some next steps. To give you an understanding of the framework, the contents by volume. This 8th edition, which is coming out in 2026, is different from the 6th edition in terms of the volume going back up. It's like the pendulum swinging from left to right. The one change that you'll notice immediately is a change in the principles. The process groups are returning in a different way. We have these performance domains better redefined. We'll also look at some AI and digital integration work that's being done, and then the sustainability focus. The cool thing about the hybrid structure, it's going to combine the process groups with the performance domains, much like we're combining predictive with agile. Oh, this changes are slated for January the 13th. We're not sure. Some of the key differences is that in the past we had these 12 broadly defined principles, and now it's being narrowed to 6 specific actionable principles that we can have, which are value, quality, leadership, sustainability, systems thinking, and empowerment. Very, very key. The process groups, they were removed prior and put into another guide, which I'll show you, and then put in a principles-based approach. Now we're coming back with the classic 5 process groups, which are listed as initiating, planning, executing, monitoring, control, and closing. With the processes, it had none defined in the outcomes rather than the processes. Now in PMBOK 8, they're coming with 40 processes. There were 49 in the 6th edition, and now we're going to 40. And it's going with updated ITTOs, inputs, techniques, tools, and outcomes, the outputs. The performance domains, there were 8 of them. Now we're going to 7 domains with a key intentional focus on governance as a dedicated domain. The structure itself, the principles based, was a focus on flexibility. This hybrid structure allows us to combine the processes with the principles, so they'll be tied to the performance domains. You'll see that alignment between the process groups and the performance domains as an improved structure. Then you have the digital and the AI integration. It was limited in its digital focus, this last version, the 7th edition, and it had minimal AI references. Now that we're understanding more about AI as a humanity, there'll be a dedicated AI appendix covering different use cases, ethics, and implementation guidance for project managers and project teams. Then lastly, the appendices. There was limited supplementary materials in that last one, but in this upcoming one there'll be expanded appendices covering all AI PMO for Project Management Office procurement specifically, and practical case studies. That's what we can expect in January. So you see the principles on the left are the 7th edition. Then you have these 8th edition 6. I'm going to cover those first because notice it says value. We want to create value in everything we're doing. This will eliminate or reduce the amount of failed projects because of the value we deliver. We'll be able to qualify it and quantify it is what I believe. And they're telling you where did it come from as a principle. Then, because you notice it was number 4, now it's number 1 over here. First it was number 4, now it's number 1. Now, if you go down here, you see quality is here. Quality was number 8. Quality is number 2. I remember Toyota saying quality is job 1. But they want to enhance quality with an emphasis on measurable outcomes. Again, value. Leadership. My favorite. You see it's number 6 over here, but it's definitely number 3. I love leadership development. I love team development. So all of this is exciting to me. I'm really hoping we get a lot of work around the team dynamic. But also it talks about accountability, which is one of my favorite things to discuss, ethical behavior, and stakeholder focus. And I wish that I'd learned more about this sooner in my own thought processes. So this is one I'm particularly looking forward to learning more about. The sustainability piece, how we're going to balance the social, environmental, and governance and the economic platforms here and the impact here. We have also systems thinking, critical thinking, systems thinking, have us observe measurable outcomes but also impacts to individuals working on our projects. Lastly, empowerment. I feel that when we were very process-based initially, well, at least in PMBOK 6, we didn't feel necessarily all that empowered. So we're going from, like I said, from 12 to 6. It's going to be leaner. Let's see what we learn. Then they update the principles, 50% reduction there. So the process groups have a bit of a different structure, and I want to take you through that. We still have our initiating, planning, executing, and closing, but there's a monitoring and control that's not in here. It has 9 monitoring processes, and it maps to the 7 performance domains, which are governance, scope, schedule, finance, stakeholders, resources, and risk. And it shows you the evolution of the process groups. So our 40 processes streamlined from 49. You see that in the original, well, at least the PMBOK 6, there were 2 processes, and there are 2 still. There were 24 in planning, but now it's down to 18. There were 10 executing processes, now there are 9. Monitoring control had 12 processes, now there are 10. And just 1 process for closing. And I thought that was pretty interesting, critical, and cool. You have some key considerations over there that you can look at how they consolidated things. So the performance domains, the governance is the new one. If you look through the evolution, it says scope, schedule, finance, stakeholders, resources, and risk. And inside of stakeholders, you see before it was divided between team and stakeholder, but I believe what they've done there is taken the stakeholders and included the team inside of the stakeholders. I feel like a lot of people are going to have questions about this, and I'm looking forward to what it is they uncover. The practice is more focused. However, when they mention stakeholders, it's the people element of projects that I'm curious about, and why it's the stakeholders take up all the people, I suppose. I think that the measurement, I'm curious about how they're going to integrate that here. It would probably go inside of governance, I would believe. Delivery is execution, and project work is execution. So I'm really keen to see how they're going to make these 7 domains work. And in the 8, I believe team is inside of stakeholders. Development approach and life cycle, I'm curious about that. Planning and project work and delivery and measurement and uncertainty are no longer there. Whereas risk and uncertainty could actually go together if you think about it. Earlier I mentioned integration with AI and expanded appendices. I'm looking forward to what that's going to look like, because you have the AI and project management along with the PMO, or the Project Management Office guidance. The procurement appendix is going to be key all throughout the project, including planning and execution and monitoring control. And lastly, the closing of procurements at the end of the project. The digital transformation integration. Obviously, I'm in IT, so I always want to see something around what we're doing inside of technology. And when we're looking at our processes, I can tell that AI will have major impact to a number of them. Mostly on the monitoring control side, from what I gather. Sustainability is one of those areas that I feel has grown tremendously, and I'm having a great time thinking about where that allows us to grow as individuals. Sustainability is a critical part of what we're facing, especially future forward work. It's evolved quite a bit. This need for governance with the oversight and control, the organizational structure, policies and standards, and stakeholder engagement. I am really looking to see how we evolve here. This framework with functions and processes will guide our project management work and our activities to create a unique product, service, or result. And that's where the value will lie. It'll be integrated across all the domains: the scope, the finance, your schedule, your stakeholder, your resources, and your risk will all be integrated with the governance domain. So that's pretty interesting. So the process groups and the domains will work together. So along the process groups, the domains will be a part of each one. With the integration here, it should be very, very intense and allow us to pick up some momentum and speed as we do these new projects. So this is a timeline, and don't want to speak too much on it because I'm not in charge of the timeline. I'm only reacting to it. I've been very fortunate to have been invited to be a part of this, and I am chomping at the bit for Q1 to come around so that we can get our new item, our new download, if you will. See what that's about. And I believe that they'll have an impact to the exam prep space. So that's really cool. Look at that. So we'll have the current exam, which is going to remain valid, but the study resources are going to have to change. And if you're an early adopter, it could work to your advantage. So PMBOK 8, January 2026, the ECO will be published, pardon me. Then we'll get the exam transition, and the new exam will be fully active in 2027. So we have a little time there. So we have the hybrid methodology, digital transformation, environmental sustainability and governance reporting integration. We'll have an enhanced or highlighted governance focus, and the certification updates will be forthcoming. They'll be updating methodologies that will be needed to upskill in AI and data. It'll be important for us to enhance our governance and then to embed sustainability within all the work we're doing.